to come on Facebook Live and jump on their channel for a bit and say hi, because it's a weird world we're living in, right? Like, I still kind of pinch myself and kind of try to understand, like, hang on, this has all happened very fast. My family, Beck and I, we were in North America over Christmas, and we left in January. We came back to Sydney, which is where I am now, where we live, and it's kind of crazy just to think about how much things have changed in the entire world those last few months. But hey, I'm really happy to be able to connect with you guys on here. And so what we're going to do, we're going to chat a little bit about books, about funny kids books, and also I've got a new book out, so I wanted to chat to you a little bit about that. I'm going to read to you a little bit from that, and I'm going to read a bit that I've not read online anywhere else, which is great. I'm looking forward to doing that. And also, the Booktopia guys have given me some questions, and they told me don't open this, right? Don't open this until like I'm ready to answer the question. So I'm not really sure what that's about, but anyway, we'll see how we go. Now, the new book, let me tell you about that. So my name is Matt Stanton. I'm an author and an illustrator, and I create funny kids books, particularly the Funny Kids series. You may have seen this around, and this is book number 7 in the Funny Kids series. And so it's just come out, which is like the weirdest time in the world for a new book to come out, because it's really hard to kind of go to shops and find it and stuff like that. And that's why somewhere like Booktopia is really, really helpful and super handy. And I know I've ordered some books for myself from Booktopia in this season because it's really, really helpful to still be able to read, to still be able to get new books, even while we're all kind of stuck in our houses. So I'm here. This is my studio. This is where I work, and it is at my house. So I'm still working. I'm still here, and so this is kind of our studio in the backyard. Here we live on the northern beaches of Sydney, and this is where I make books. You might recognise this room if you follow me on YouTube, because ever since all this craziness started, I've been posting every day from here onto YouTube, drawing lessons for kids, kind of behind the scenes on making books and stuff like that. So if you ever want to come and see what I'm up to, I'm posting from here every single day. Now, Funny Peking Duck is the new book that's just come out. Now, the Funny Kids series I've been making for the last 3 and a bit years. And I put my email address in the back of these books often, and I ask kids to email me and tell me, like, which book is your favorite, which character is your favorite, because all of that helps me as I'm creating more Funny Kid books, because I'm making them all the time. So one of the kind of bits of feedback that came from you guys was that you really liked the character of Duck. Help if I pointed to it, wouldn't it? You really liked the character of Duck. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the character of Duck. Now, Duck first turns up in the very first Funny Kid book, Funny Kid for President, the blue one. And Duck first turns up as a stalker duck, okay? Max has this stalker duck, this duck that will follow him everywhere. This is Max. Will follow him everywhere, and he cannot get rid of this duck. Now, that's a little bit of a subplot in the first Funny Kid book. It's not the main plot, but it's part of the story of Funny Kid for President. Is like, what on earth is the deal with this duck? Now, the duck, that kind of question gets resolved, and Duck and Max kind of become, they're kind of friends, I guess. Duck is sort of a pet, but sort of not a pet. He's got a little bit more attitude than a pet, and he is free to come and go as he pleases, but he really is quite attached, note that word, attached to Max, and so he's often around, and he's in all of the stories in some capacity. He often kind of is helping Max solve a problem. He often meets Max in the dark night of his soul, when Max gets to a point in the story where he's like, everything has gone wrong, everything has fallen apart, I need to kind of reassess and kind of remind myself of my priorities and who I am. Well, those conversations he has with a duck, because ducks are very good listeners. I don't know if you knew that. Anyway, lots of people like Duck. So I thought what it would be really cool to do would be to make a Funny Kid book where Duck played much more of a pivotal role in the story. In fact, he's put himself onto the cover. It's the first time another major character in the Funny Kid book has kind of invaded the cover. And it's called Funny Kid Peking Duck. In fact, Duck those of you who are familiar with the Funny Kid books will know that Max often talks to us kind of from the very opening page. Well, not this time. Duck's got getting in there and kind of butting his way in, even though it ruins the title page. Funny Duck. It's maybe a spin-off series, huh? So I thought I would read to you a little bit, because the basic story in Funny Kid Peking Duck is that Max has had his bravery challenged. Okay, so Max's friends, there's a competition between who is braver, Max or Abby. Okay, and Max was pretty confident he'd kind of win this hands down, but there's a few kind of factors in the story that have led to a bit of a question mark as to who is braver, Max or Abby. And so a dares competition is hatched. A dares competition is happening amongst the friends, amongst Max and Abby and Hugo and Tyson in this story. At the same time, they're on the road trip from hell. Okay, so they're on a road trip, which Max actually doesn't really want to be on, all of the kids in a car with Max's parents. And I'll let you read the book to understand why and how that happens. Now, I'm going to pick up in chapter 10. Okay, there's a couple of other places, my YouTube channel, for example, that I've read the first chapter to you, but I'm going to read to you from chapter 10, which I've not read online or to kids anywhere just yet. So this should be fun. Now I'm going to kind of pick it up a little bit into the chapter. What you need to know is that the competition is underway. They have stopped at a petrol station. And they've been able to kind of go into the petrol station and buy stuff, and they're coming out before they get back into the car to keep going. There has been one dare already, and Max won that one. So in the score between Max and Abby, Max is 1 and Abby is 0. Okay, Pip starts talking. All right, listen up, you two. It's time for another dare, she says, grinning. Currently, Max is on 1 point, and Abby, you're still on 0. Okay, this is my chance. If I can win this next dare, then I'll be 2 in front, and if I'm 2 points up, then surely she can't catch me now. It's a masterful plan, if I do say so myself. Drum roll, please, Tyson asks Hugo. Although this time he's strumming his hands as though he's playing a guitar. This kid really needs to pay more attention in music class. Dare number 2, Pip announces. She pulls a packet of something out from behind her back. We bought these horrid hot chili lollies. Whoever can keep these in their mouth the longest wins the dare. Ha! Piece of cake! I look at Abby. I love spicy things, I say. Let's take this up a notch. I'll take 2. 2? Hugo repeats. Sure, I reply. What do you think, Abby? Will you take 2 as well? I've raised the bar, and if she wants to compete, she's got to come with me. She's looking nervously at the packet in Pip's hand. She doesn't want to do it, I can tell. She's afraid. I've got this. Give me 3, she says. Wait, what? 3? Pip exclaims. Abby looks at me and raises one eyebrow. Oh, she wants to play this game, does she? Max, 3 for you also? Tyson asks. I turn to Pip. Give me 15, I say. I'm not about to be out-chillied by Abby Purcell. 15? Hugo says, you'll die. Well, that seems like a bit of an exaggeration. I don't think I've heard of anyone actually dying because of eating a chili. Not that I've ever had a chili before. But really, how bad can they be? I only have 6, Pip says, so it's 3 each. Okay, fine, I shrug, but let the record show that I was prepared to do more. Pip tips 3 little red lollies into each of our hands. They look harmless enough. Just like jelly beans, really. I look at Abby. She's fidgeting. I lean over. You don't have to do this, you know. I whisper. All right, I'm timing. Go, Hugo says. Abby looks at me and pops all 3 in her mouth. All right, well, no one can say I didn't give her an out. I pop 3 chili lollies in my mouth too. Oh, it's not bad. Kind of sweet. I look at Abby. Her eyes are open wider. She's staring straight ahead. She's drumming her fingers on her sides as though she's really concentrating. What a lightweight. These aren't even spicy. I've just got to keep them in my mouth until Abby spits hers out. Is she sweating? These are actually quite nice. Boom! What was that? It's as though a hand grenade just exploded in my mouth. In an instant, the lollies changed from nice, sweet candies that tasted pretty much like every lolly in the world to making me feel as though I'm sucking on 3 hedgehogs. I look over at Abby. She still looks exactly the same. Her mouth is tightly shut. She's breathing quickly out of her nose, staring straight ahead and drumming her fingers. How is she doing that? Her lollies mustn't be as spicy as mine. This hurts. The hedgehogs have started fighting each other with knitting needles. Ow! Ow! Look at Max's face. Tyson points at me and the 3 of them start laughing. Laughing? How could they do that when I'm so clearly suffering? Suddenly, I feel as though hopping and dancing might just help the situation. This makes no sense, of course, but nothing makes sense anymore. The hedgehogs are lighting each other on fire. Abby's hair is standing on end. Look, Pip points. We all look at Abby. She's still not moving, but single strands of hair seem to be rising from the top of her head and pointing straight into the air. Her nose is going red. Her eyebrows are twitching. And I'm bouncing around like a frog. I don't think I've ever felt pain like this. I can feel sweat erupting from all over my body. I can't hold these in my mouth much longer. But surely Abby can't either. Come on, Abby, spit them out and put us both out of our misery. Try meditating, guys, Hugo says. It's all in your mind, remember? I've got hedgehogs with flamethrowers in my mind, meditation boy. I can't. I'm not going to be able to. My mouth explodes like a volcano, and 3 tiny lollies shoot out onto concrete. Ah, hot, I yell, waving air into my mouth with my hand, which really doesn't work. It feels like the right thing to do. And running around in circles with my tongue hanging out. Abby swallows. She swallows hers and smiles. I win, she says. I don't have time for your gloating, Abby Purcell. My mouth is on fire. Can you see the flames? Can you see the smoke? Need water, I gasp. Hugo reaches over to the petrol bowser. There's a bucket of water next to it. He throws it at me. Splash! And just like that, I'm completely soaked. My mouth is still burning, and I'm drenched and standing in a puddle. And that's the end of that particular chapter. Hey, look, I hope you enjoyed Funny Kid Peking Duck, that little reading. This one's been really, really fun. This is kind of a road trip book. Okay, and so there's all sorts of, I take the characters out of Red Hill for the first time, really. Oh, Prank Wars, they kind of go out of Red Hill, I guess. But this is like a road trip book, and they run into a policeman. I'll read you the bit on the back. The family road trip from hell, a dares competition, the Tower of Dying Deathly Doom, and a dancing motorcycle gang called the Fat Skulls are just some of the things in store for Max and his friends in this brand new Funny Kid adventure. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so I think it's time to do these questions. So these were some questions that Booktopia sent me. They said don't open them, okay, until you're on the live stream. All right, so I have not been able to, prepare my answers. All right, here we go. Booktopia questions. Okay, number 1, what inspires you to write? Oh, thanks. Okay, so what inspires me to write? Look, I don't sit down here at this desk here. I don't sit down and go, what sort of story do I feel like writing today? Okay, what I sit down and do is go, who can I make a book for? Who do I want to make a book for? And I've met heaps of kids now. Over the last few years of touring around, going to writers' festivals and schools, I've met thousands and thousands and thousands of you. And I've had such a great time connecting with you. Whether it's like pre-K kids and we do picture books, and we have all sorts of fun, like with the crazy books, like This Is a Ball and those sorts of ones, and we just play. I love doing that. Or whether it's some of the primary school kids from kind of years 1, 2, 3, all the way up to years 5 and 6. And I love kind of hanging out with you guys and talking about imagination and creativity. And so I sit down and I go, who can I make a book for? And I think about you guys, and I start there. So that's where Funny Kid came from. Funny Kid, I just used to have picture books before Funny Kid. And I thought, you know what, I really like hanging out with kids in schools from like grades 1, 2 up to kind of 5, 6. So could I create a series of books that were for you guys? And that's where Funny Kid came from. And all I was thinking to myself was, how can I make you laugh as much as I possibly can with these books? And that's my challenge on every single page, is can I make you laugh out loud? So that's kind of what inspires me. You inspire me. Okay, question number 2. Do you have any pets? Oh, yes. So we have one pet in our house at the moment, and that pet is a cat. And that cat, his name is Audrey. Okay, and she's a ragdoll cat. If you go to my Instagram, there's a couple of photos on there of Audrey. Audrey is a very pretty cat. Like, she's very pretty, but she's got a lot of attitude, and she seems to have this idea that I am her slave. Okay, no one else in our family, not my 3 kids, not Beck, they don't seem to be her slave. I'm her slave. I don't know where she got that idea. I don't know if I have a sign on my back that says cat slave, but she's quite demanding, and if she wants me to put more food in a bowl, or she wants a pat or something like that, she also sticks her tail in my face all the time. Now, I'm actually allergic to cats. It's not too bad, but I'm allergic to cats, and she seems to know that, and she sticks her tail in my... Anyway, I'll tell someone else about these problems. Okay, question number 3. Which Funny Kid book is the worst? What? Booktopia? Which Funny Kid book is the worst? That's a bit rude. I've never been asked that question before. Well, there's 7 of them, plus a bonus one we did for Australian Reading Hour last year. I don't know. That's like asking me which of my kids is my least favourite. I don't have one. I love them all. I'm skipping that question. Booktopia. Question number 4. Why aren't you taller? What? Booktopia? What? Why aren't I taller? Well, don't blame me. Blame my parents or something, or my DNA. Blame my DNA. You know, I was the shortest kid in kindergarten, and then for a little while during school, there were a couple of other shorter kids than me, and I kind of got off the bottom rung. But by year 12, I was the shortest kid in the class again. There you go. In year 4, they stood me on a box in the class photo. So, yeah, thanks for that. Okay, question number 5. Will you stop making Funny Kid books soon? Please. What? Will you stop making Funny Kid books soon, please? No. No, I won't. Booktopia, thanks very much. I have a kind of standard thing that I say in my emails when kids email me. You get an auto-responder back that I've written, and then I try and get to you and reply properly pretty quickly. But you get kind of an auto-response that says, I've got it and I'm reading it, and then another email, hopefully from me, when I can get to replying to them all. And the deal that I make with kids is if you keep reading them, I'll keep writing them, okay? So it's kind of up to you. Okay, not you, Booktopia. Kids on the live stream. It's kind of up to you. I will keep doing. I will keep making Funny Kid books because I really like making Funny Kid books. It's fun. I'm making one right now, actually. Like, I'm making Funny Kid 8. So this is Funny Kid 7, and I'm currently making Funny Kid 8. And if you're interested in that process, like if you're interested in writing or writing stories or anything like that, jump on my YouTube, because you know how I said I'm doing a video every day. I'm kind of giving you a live behind the scenes of making a funny kid book. Okay, so I'm talking to you about the challenges I'm having as I write it. I'm talking about story structure and dialogue, and I've got a kind of weird, interesting process that I use, talking all about that. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, jump on over there. Yeah. And last question, why do you like pink so much? It's a girl's color. It is not a girl's color. What do you mean I like pink so much? Oh, because okay, right, I understand. So Funny Kid Peking Duck is pink, right? And Pea and Nut, that picture book, which actually we might read to finish. We might read this one to finish. So that is also pink. I do like pink. I think pink is a great color. Booktopia. It is certainly not a girl's color, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to use it, and I'm a boy. So pink, I think pink is a great color. It's super, super bright, and I like it. I don't have any pink shirts at the moment, but that may change in time. So this is Pea and Nut, because I create picture books as well. Some I create with my mate Tim Miller. So there's a monster under my bed who farts. You might know that one. The pirate who has a pee, dinosaur dump, Burpzilla. Okay, so we've created a whole bunch of like gross picture books together, which have lots of fart sounds and stuff in them. And that was the first book I ever wrote. I actually found a photo the other day of Tim and I when we first kind of made our first book. So I thought I'll post that later because we both look kind of young and hairier. And then I make a series of books with my wife Beck, and we run our company together. This is our studio together, and Beck's got a desk in here, and I've got a desk in here, and we make our books here. And so they're like the crazy books, like This Is a Ball, Did You Take the Bee from My Book, The Book That Never Ends, those ones. And then I've started a new series of picture book called Pea and Nut, of which only the first one is out so far. The next one will be out a bit later in the year. It's been printed. And this is Pea and Nut, and I write and illustrate these myself. And I wanted to do something fun with animals for a while. I didn't have a lot of books about animals, and I like animals. So, okay, here we go. Pea and Nut. This is Pea. She likes her own space. And this is Nut, all up in her face. It's not going to make Pea very happy, is it? What you doing? Are you busy? You look like you're baking. I could do better than whatever you're making. How about a cake battle? I know that I'd win. They put mine on display and yours in the bin. Oh, trash-talking flamingo. Here we go. How will Pea respond, do you think? Now, Pea might look calm, and Pea might be mellow, but she's not about to lose to this boastful fellow. In go the eggs. Oh, it's on. It's on. The cooking battle is on. In go the eggs. 1, 2, 3, 6. Oh, take out the shell. Give it a mix. A good helping of flour. Yeah, throw in a bit more. Tip, tip, tip. Whoops. Now it's all on the floor. The cakes go in the oven, and then comes the waiting. Nut finds the waiting extremely frustrating. Now I'm taking mine out. Pea is happy to wait, but it'd also be fun to mess with her mate. If you really want to win, don't think too small. Prize-winning cakes are always tall. And so, Nut begins a complex production of layers and towers and major construction. He balances here and he cuts over there, building his cake high up in the air. Look at this thing. That is some cake, huh? I don't even know how you make a sphere cake. Is that it? Asks Pea. Now, don't be half-hearted. Oh, shush you, says Nut. I'm just getting started. Oh, look, he's got some icing and a ladder. Look at this cake. Bet you can't climb it. The oven goes bing. And Nut sings from the top, I'm a cake-making king. Any idea what's about to happen? But P knew something. Nut forgot in the rush. When a cake's half cooked, the middle's just mush. Nut's cake tilts and trembles, squelches and slides. He loses his balance as it splits and divides. The crazy cake topples under poor Nut. Splat goes his cake. And thud goes his butt. What a mess. Here is Nut, whose cake was a dud. And here is P, with a slice for Bud. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've really enjoyed hanging out with you guys. Thanks for coming and visiting me in my studio. And in some small way, I'm able to visit you in your homes, which is wonderful. Can I encourage you to keep thinking about books and reading in this crazy time? Reading with kids, reading with your parents is such a wonderful way to escape social isolation. A book is your passport to anywhere, and it can take you via your imagination to wherever you want to go. And there are plenty of ways that you can still get books, and Booktopia is definitely one of those places. As I said before, I have ordered my own books for reading from Booktopia, and it's always such an exciting moment when they turn up on the doorstep. Hey, thank you so much for having me. I hope you have fun reading. I hope you have a great weekend. And if you want to come say hi, if you want to kind of keep staying connected with me, then come say hi on YouTube, youtube.com/Matt Stanton. Thank you so much, guys. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.